As we are discussing phytohormones, in the list of phytohormones, first class is auxins. Auxin is a basically general name for a group of hormones that are involved in growth responses. For example, cell elongation, stimulating the cell division in calyces. So, not surprisingly, the term auxin is derived from Greek word means to increase or to grow. This was the first group of plant hormones that was discovered. If we talk about the site of auxin synthesis, as I have discussed, that they are actively involved in growth, so they are actively produced or made in growing tissues, which include young leaves in fruits and especially the shoot apices. These are basically made in cytosol of the cell. Then they are transported, and their transport is basically the basipetal or polar transport. Auxin is transported in a basipetal towards the base directions. In other words, auxin moves from the shoot tip towards the root and from the root tip towards the shoot. If we talk about auxin role or actions, then as I have discussed, they are involved in cell division or cell elongation. So cellular elongation is its main function. Auxin can induce and amplify proton pumping. Acidified cell wall has increased elasticity, which leads to cell elongation. Second main action is cell differentiation. Auxin basically promotes the differentiation of vascular tissues, for example, xylem and phloem. These are also involved in ethylene production. Indolestic acid apparently stimulates the production of ethylene, and it is also involved in inhibition of the root growth. It also stimulates the root initiation, for example, lateral roots or adventitious roots. Roots always form at the basal ending of the cutting. These are some formations of adventitious roots using the auxin. Similarly, auxin is also responsible for flowering. Although most plants do not initiate production of flowers after the auxin treatment, pineapple and its relatives do. Once flowering is initiated in many species, indolestic acid basically promotes the formation of female flowers. Parthenocarpic fruit development is another action of auxin, that pollination of the flower of angiosperms, that is initiation of formation of seeds. As the seed matures, they release auxins to the surrounding flower parts, which develops into fruit that covers the seed. Some commercial growers deliberately initiate fruit development by applying auxins to the flowers. Not only does this ensure that all flowers will set fruit, but also maximize the likelihood that the fruits will be ready for harvest at the same time. This is basically the auxin produced by seeds promotes the ovary tissue growth. Similarly, apical dominance is also responsive auxin. Lateral branch growth are initiated near the shoot apices, but less so farther from the tip. Apical dominance is disrupted in some plants by removing the shoot tip, causing the plants to become bushy. Here is also an example of apical dominance. Plant B has apical bud removed, so axillary buds will grow. Tropic responses are also because of the auxin. For example, phototropism, that is the basically growth movement that is induced by the stimulus of light. Sunlight breaks down the auxin. Plant stem indirect sunlight will have the least amount of auxin. Area of the plant that is more shaded will have more auxin. So more cell growth on shaded side, and then plant bend towards the light. This is basically the tropic response, that is because of the auxin. As this diagram is showing, that because of sunlight over indolestic acid molecules produced by apical dominance are disrupted evenly in the shoot, and cells will elongate or turn towards the light. So cell elongation results in bending of the shoot towards the light. Similarly, as I have discussed that tropic responses, first of all I have discussed the phototropism. Similarly, gravitropism or geotropism, that is also responsible of the caused by the auxin. Plant stem that was once upright on its side, the auxin is settled on the bottom side of the stem. More auxin accumulates on the stem bottom side, more cell growth occur on the bottom side. As a result, plant will bend upward, a growth response to gravity which causes roots to grow downward and shoots to grow upward. That is because of auxin. Here you can see gravitropic or geotropic response in which shoots are going upward and roots are growing downward.